And you can see how happy everybody is here. There's a beer festival going on. I have been playing along in this campaign now for quite some time, to the point where I have quite a lot of resources. And let me just go back here. I started in the old world, and I started here. Pretty small island, but eventually, after some time, I managed to develop everybody up to the status of investor, which is what all these are here. I've got 6,800 investors. Not a lot, but what happened then is I basically, I guess like most people, this was my center island for a while, so I shipped lots of stuff to this island, and as you can see now, I've got a massive quantity of raw materials, and I've got a massive quantity of the building products. Um, in terms of these things, there's some things I've got a lot of, and then other things well, there's none of these things because there's no farmers or anything here. Um, I do have other things quite a lot, and then certain things I don't have much of. But when I got to this point, and this is where the game I think can get a little boring because you think, well, what do I do now? And I have taken over lots of islands around here, but it's mainly to get access to the oil that I'm exporting because you need a lot of oil to run all the engineer buildings and stuff. So most of the stuff here is really I've got a little settlement here, but mainly it's about oil and stuff that I'm taking. Or simply you connect to an island and you can increase your population. You can see I'm at the point now where every time I go to a new island, I get 200 extra workers in each field. So at this point, I moved to Cape Trelawney. Well, obviously, before that, obviously, I went to the New World. You have to do that. You have to produce the cotton and the stuff, various things, or you can't progress. So obviously, I went to the New World first. Then I went to Cape Trelawney, which is the one DLC I really like because I just love the extra region you get. And when I got to Crown Falls, and this is what I think is fun to do instead of, it's a huge area. And I know with a lot of people, they just start building here again. They just go, they start up with the farmers. But what I did was the first thing I came here, I increased as much as I could the warehouse so that I could ship things. Then I sent all my building materials from the old world, which is why, because I'm not actually producing very many, I'm not producing the concrete, I'm not producing the windows here, they've all been sent. And with all that stuff, the first thing I did was I just took over all the oil fields that I could find. That was the first thing I did here. Before even building a house, I took over some islands because, like I said, when you take over an island, you gain some workforce without having to do anything else. And so, as you can see here, I took over a lot. In fact, I took over everything, all the islands. I was able to do that. Increase the workforce, get kind of lots of oil going, like here. There's not really anything on this. I just want the oil. And then bring the oil to Crown Falls, which is over here. Got this. It's dropping now because there's a lot of things going on here. But I have access to, I think, about 3 islands where I can send the oil here, and there won't be a problem with that. I'm going to do that now, actually, just because I've got some oil tankers and stuff around. Let's take this oil tanker. Let's go here. Yeah, got plenty of oil here, and let's just ship it to there. And so what was fun to do here is that I was able to come to this island. I had all the workforce, and it's there's a some kind of a military jet passing there. Instead of kind of just starting to build lots of farmers and everything like that, I was able to start here by building the most advanced factory in the vanilla game because I have all the resources here. I had all the workforce here, and so I was able to start by building the carriages, and also I'm building. I've got the gramophones. I've got a wine factory somewhere. I'm making watches. But you can do all this, and you don't have to kind of go through the routine of putting all the farmers and the workers and everything. You can just do it from the start, and it made it interesting for me that I've got this fantastic island, which really to me is just a place that's producing things. Um, and of course, the stuff from the New World is coming here too. So now this place has become a real. It's like a manufacturing giant in all the things, even in the farming products. So I've got all of this stuff. But when you look at the island itself, you can see there really isn't, there's no farmers here. They just come from because of the islands I have. And so you produce an enormous amount of stuff. Um, and then I think you can really have fun. That's what I'm doing over here. So with my little island here, I'm just kind of sending stuff here. I'm deleting routes. I brought some oil here, even though there's no oil on the island, and it makes the game, I think, much more interesting when you get to this player level, and you've got access to so much resources, and you can really have fun building things in different ways. I know there is a way of playing this game where you don't have to pay for anything, where everything is available from the beginning. I had a look at that for about 10 seconds and I just didn't like it at all. So obviously I've had to unlock everything. I've had to go through all the process of getting to this point. Um, because I've been playing this for, you can tell you can tell by looking at the maps, I've been playing it for ages. As you can see too, there is no AI here. I really just like the building aspect. Sometimes this time I just wanted the building aspect. I didn't want to be contending with other AIs or anything. I just have fun kind of working on products and transporting things and trying to make it as efficient as possible. Like here, it's another place with loads of oil. But here there's no people here. But I'm producing lots of the canned food. And also I've got two factories. Where are they? These two guys, which they've run out of cotton. But these guys are producing the coats. And I'm going to have to find cotton from somewhere now, send it to here and get the production going again. And I really like that aspect of this game. If you use your imagination, you really need to play obviously for a couple of hours to get to this point, because at the beginning, as everyone who plays the game knows, you get absolutely nothing. You got one crappy little boat and some wood. So I've been playing this campaign for ages. But it makes this game very playable for me because there's so many more islands around here that I can keep kind of trying to find more interesting ways of doing things with all the resources I have. I mean, I haven't even built the world's fair yet, but I could start on this island, for instance. I could transport the building products here, and for instance, I could start building this. thing here, which would be another thing to keep me busy for a while. Or I could put another population in here. Um, and that's it. I just wanted to do this video, which may sound like I'm stating the obvious, but it wasn't for me because I played this game lots and I ended up getting bored just zoning in lots of farmers and workers all over the place and going through the same kind of routine island after island. But I've realized after playing this for a long time that the game can become very interesting when you get to this level. When you get to the point where you've got lots of materials at your disposal and you also have lots of surplus of things, like you've got lots of um, agricultural products, you've got lots of the raw materials. You can just go and start trying to do imaginative things on the other islands, with the benefit of having, for instance, of having power plants available at the beginning. That's another thing I did here. I mean, I had a power plant here before I had a house. I had everything kind of wired up with the power plants and the oil, and they were here even before I had a farming house. And that's it. That's all I wanted to make a video about. So if anybody's still got this game and they haven't, I don't know, maybe you think you've done everything you can with it, but I personally think it's really up to you how how imaginative you can be with the game to see how you can do things differently. And it's such a fantastic game. I have looked at the new game, but there's something about the colors in this game the colors in the new game seem to me to be a little more faded, and maybe it's because of the area. They're in the Mediterranean area, but I just love the colors of this game. I love the more kind of lush colors, and the details always kind of do it for me. I can zoom in all day and watch factories and things. I just think the details on the buildings is just fantastic. And I don't use the night and day cycle much, but when you do use that, it's fantastic. Anyway, I shall get back to fixing the problem of cotton on this island. Adios.